Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to pick winning webinar topics for real estate capital. All right, so if you want to use webinars to raise capital quickly, efficiently, and very effectively, then the number one thing you want to focus on first is what is going to be the topic of your webinar. Because if you don't choose the right topic, you're not going to get anybody interested and much less engaged. So in today's video, we're going to go over exactly the who, what, when, where, why, and how of picking the right topic for your real estate webinar. All right, step number one of picking the right topic is really understanding your audience of prospective investors. And here's the cold, hard truth. You're watching this video, you're interested in real estate investing, that's why you're here. You and I are what I affectionately call real estate weirdos. Don't take offense. We all are, right? But here's the big concept. Most of your ideal prospective investors are not like you and I. They are not real estate weirdos. They really don't care that much about real estate investing. What they're looking for is a good way to get an above average return on their money backed by something solid, tangible, real, and hopefully hands-free, and that would be our real estate investing deal. So why am I talking about this so much? Because a big mistake I see a lot of would-be webinar hosts making is creating really boring topics that no average person wants to find out more about. So we got to keep our target market in mind when we're creating these topics. Think about what would be interesting, what would be enticing for them, not just what do I feel like talking about today. So focus on, ideally, what's the big payoff, what's the big benefit for your ideal prospective investor, and go about it from that perspective. Okay, step number two is choosing high impact titles. So what do I mean by this? Well, now that we know what our audience is about and what they're probably interested in, and if we want to focus on what's in it for them, then we have to figure out what's the highest impact kind of topic and title. So here's a big shortcut for you. We're looking to bring on investor partners. What are investors really interested in? They're really interested in return on investment. So we'd have some sort of webinar, some sort of presentation about, bottom line, how the money is made. That's likely going to be very interesting and enticing for our investors. Now, big tip here, don't go overboard with too much detail on how the money is made. You want to go big, broad strokes, show them examples, and that's going to go a long way. But focus on really what's the biggest benefit for them. So I would start with how the money is made. You could be looking at different steps in your real estate investing process, kind of educating them about how you do your deals. And again, keeping it focused on what's in it for them and how the money's made. But bottom line is investors are looking for a good return on their money and hopefully to do well and at the same time to do good with their investment dollars. Step number three is we want to make sure that your topic aligns with your goals. Now, I know I've been telling you over and over again, really focus on what's in it for them, but you always have to keep in mind, what do you want to accomplish with your webinar as well, so that you can tie both of those things together. So here's an example. If you are talking about how the money is made in real estate, you want to really focus that in on how the money is made in your style of real estate investing. What I mean by this is, well, I'm aware of up to 8 different ways that you and your investor partners can profit from a real estate deal, but it depends on the kind of deals that you're doing. So for example, if you're doing a long-term buy and hold type of a strategy with some sort of a value add on it, then there might be different kinds, 8 different ways that you and your investors can make money. If you're doing something shorter term and quicker turnaround, chances are there's only 1 or 2, maybe 3 ways that you and your investor partners are making money. So you don't want to be going around and showing them, if you've only got 3 ways to make money on your deals, you don't want to show them all 8, or there's going to be a big disconnect between what you've been educating them about and what you're actually able to offer. Does that make sense? So focus on what makes sense for you and what aligns with your goals, as well as what's in it for them. Next big thing we need to look at when it comes to creating a topic is having really good visuals. So I'm going to recommend that when you're doing a webinar that you create a solid slide deck presentation, like a PowerPoint, a keynote presentation, Google Slides, whatever, something that you could walk people through that's very visually interesting and enticing. Because if you're just up there blathering away, they're going to zone out pretty quickly. So here's a few tips for really good slide deck presentation. Make sure you include lots of pictures. Make sure that each slide only has 3 to 5 pretty short bullet points. Don't overwhelm them with too much information. And again, anytime that you can use actual pictures of your deals, especially if you got before, during, and after type pictures that are high impact, that is going to make a big difference. So make sure that you've got high impact visuals to keep them engaged. Next thing we want to do is we want to rotate topics to keep things fresh. So one of the big mistakes I see people making is, number one, they get off to a good start with doing webinars, and they do one, they have great success, and then they promptly never do another webinar again, or they wait a year until they do their next webinar. Don't do that. Get started, keep going, and do it consistently. I'm going to recommend that you shoot for doing a webinar every 3 to 4 months. So for example, if you did a webinar every 4 months, then just switch up the topics a little bit. So have 3 different presentations. They can be kind of similar, but different titles, different kind of twists to them. And then that way you keep it fresh, you keep it different, and you're not going to burn people out thinking that they're seeing the same thing over and over again. So shoot for every 3 to 4 months, have a different topic for each one of those webinars, and you're going to see massive success. So here's a few different examples of webinar topics that have worked really well for myself and our clients. First one I already mentioned is how the money is made in X, whatever your type of real estate investing is. So how the money is made in flips in Baltimore, how the money is made in doing the BRRRR strategy in Mississauga, Ontario, how the money is made in doing short-term rentals in Orlando, Florida, how the money is made in multifamily properties in Cleveland, Ohio. Whatever your strategy is, whatever your market is, you can focus on that. Other things could be like the step-by-step process of how you do a deal, all right? The 5-step money-making process of doing successful Airbnbs. The 6-step apartment building process for big money multifamily deals. The 7-step BRRRR process for turning around and getting all your money out and fast with a BRRRR property, whatever, these kind of ideas. You see what I'm talking about there. So keep it focused on how the money is made or the step-by-step process. You could be talking about the top 10 reasons why Cleveland, Ohio is a rocking place to invest. You could have your top 10 reasons and then a quick synopsis there about what you're up to with real estate investing as well. These different ideas that are high impact and interesting that are going to get people engaged. All right, so stay tuned for the other episodes that are coming up. We're going to be going through all 6 steps of my scalar system for doing very effective capital webinars for real estate investors. And if you're looking for a quick shortcut on the whole process, you can grab a copy of my book, Money Partner Formula, at investorattractionbook.com, or just scroll down and click on the link in the description below. And if you're looking for a PDF copy of my whole scalar system, I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. Stay tuned for the next video.